The Achilles heel, Europe's structural weaknesses in the energy crisis. While the European Union broadcasts a narrative of strategic autonomy, the reality of 2026 reveals deep-seated vulnerabilities. Moving away from Iranian oil and traditional Middle Eastern routes has exposed 5 critical weaknesses. 1. Replacing one dependency with another. Europe's biggest strategic flaw is that it hasn't truly become independent. It has simply swapped masters. By cutting off Iranian and Russian supplies, Europe now relies on U.S. liquefied natural gas, LNG, for over 40% of its needs. This makes European energy security hostage to domestic U.S. politics. If Washington decides to prioritize its own domestic prices or use energy as political leverage, Europe has no plan B. 2. Extreme sensitivity to transit shocks. The 2026 tensions in the Strait of Hormuz prove that Europe is vulnerable even if it doesn't buy a single drop of oil directly from Iran. Because the global oil price is interconnected, any local conflict sends Brent crude soaring, often above $120. Europe lacks the massive strategic reserves required to shield its citizens from these price spikes, leading to immediate pump shock for consumers. 3. The distance tax, logistical burden. Without stable access to Suez or Middle Eastern supply chains, Europe must source energy from much further afield, Brazil, West Africa, or the U.S. Gulf Coast. Rerouting tankers around the Cape of Good Hope adds 30% to 40% to transport costs. This is a permanent tax on the European economy, driving up the price of everything from heating to groceries. 4. Deindustrialization and competitive decay. European heavy industries, especially German steel and chemicals, were built on the foundation of relatively cheap, stable energy. Transitioning to expensive, shipped-in LNG makes European products significantly more costly than those from China or the US. This is leading to capital flight, where European manufacturers move their factories to countries with cheaper energy, hollowing out the European industrial base. 5. Social fragility and the green gap. While governments push for a green transition, there is a massive gap in infrastructure. Millions of middle-class Europeans cannot yet afford electric vehicles or expensive heat pump retrofits. High energy prices create a social tinderbox, increasing the risk of civil unrest and the rise of populist movements across the continent. Conclusion. In short, Europe is currently in survival mode. It has escaped one trap only to enter a high-cost environment that threatens its long-term global standing. The continent is buying time, but that time is becoming incredibly expensive.